Hello, everyone. Here's Mel Charigate from Whoever You Are podcast. And I have today not one, but two guests, so I'm so excited. They are from the Two Sober Girls Instagram. It's Michaela and Erin. And I'm so excited to talk to them. I think for we've been talking before, we have a lot of common. And I think each one of you have different stories
Hmm.
and that's so cool because then we can reach more people.
Yeah, definitely. Mel, we're psyched to be here. Thank you.
Welcome. So tell us a little bit, like how did you start a podcast and how did you even meet? Did you know each other before?
Oh, this is like it's so cute, right, Michaela? This is like our
Yes.
love story.
Oh,
No, we didn't know each other. We were at a wellness event, and I've shared this before. We are at a wellness event. Michaela, I was maybe 1 or 2 years sober. I was early into my sobriety. Michaela was at like the doorway of the event. I looked up, I saw this beautiful woman, and I was like, oh my God, she's so fabulous. She's so beautiful. And I heard God say, you're going to do something with her. Go say hi. And
wow,
yeah, so we
And,
got
and, and I knew it too. I knew we needed to connect as well.
that's so
Yeah.
awesome.
we had the energy, and so I went up, said hi to Michaela, was like, okay, like I just like there was this knowing, and we instantly like looked at each other like, okay, we're gonna do something. And pretty soon after that, we started connecting, working together, and having conversations. And I didn't know Michaela was very early on in her sobriety. Like Michaela, you were
I was about 3 months, 5 months sober, maybe when we met.
okay.
And I mean, that was one of the things when we met. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sober. And you're like, I'm sober. And it's so rare to find sober people, even in wellness
Yeah,
spaces.
yes, yes.
I mean, it's so it is so rare, and it was even more rare back in the like few years
Yeah.
ago. It's becoming a little bit better now, but we would have these conversations like hour long, and I also have another podcast, and so I was like, you know what? Let's create a podcast on this because I think women need to hear the different ways that like she got sober, that I got sober, and but there's this common thread of, we call it modern sobriety,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really rooted in self-development, in getting to know yourself, in building the life that you truly love, and in wellness, in beauty,
Mm-hmm.
and all of these
Fun.
things, becoming like the best mom and partner, and just realizing that we are in control of our thoughts and our reality, and we can shift and change. And really, sobriety is the building block of all of that. So it's like, okay, we have that, but how do we work with it? Because the sobriety I would see out in the world is not the sobriety I wanted to subscribe to. I still wanted all of the elements that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And we started the podcast, and then about 3 months after the podcast, we kind of grew really pretty quickly, and we had women message us if we have a community, and from there we started our Sober Girls Mastermind, and it started off with
Awesome.
Yeah.
once a month meetings on Zoom. And now we have about 4 meetings a week, and we have different mentors and different, leaders. And we still teach our once a week on Thursdays. Every Thursday, we've done this for, I don't know, over 3 years.
Oh my God.
And so it's been so much fun. And we have, in each month, let's say like 15 completely different topics that we kind of cover. And because I need that conversation,
Yeah.
and I don't have that with my friends or family.
Mm-hmm.
So we sort of created it for ourselves.
Yeah, I was asking myself actually one of those days, like, am I doing this for me or for other people? And then I
Both. Yeah.
realized I'm doing for both. It's
Hmm.
also for me, right? Because it does transform your life so much.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
be sharing, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I had two interviews today already, and the journeys are so different, but it's uh, it's I don't know, you just feel different when you connect and you talk
Yeah.
to people. even like you see the background, maybe they're in the house, maybe on a studio, but it's like that live connection that I think is so awesome. I'm still like really in the beginning of the podcast, and I actually don't even know how to like make money out of this or anything. I just started because I want to connect.
Yeah,
And,
that's beautiful.
yeah, and that's what I'm doing. So let's
Well,
see.
and I love your story. We got to talk a little bit offline and how you were reluctant to share it. But then once you did, like, look at what happened. You started a podcast. Your story is gold. And I think that's something we're so passionate about is sharing how we got here, what it was like before, what happened, and what our lives are like now. And to
Yeah,
inspire people who are maybe identified like a Michaela, who weren't, wrestling with an alcohol use disorder or alcoholism, like I identify, but just want the better life, want to feel
yeah,
healthier, happier. And where are the people having these conversations? So, Mel, we're so thankful that you jumped in and to join because we need more people talking about like sobriety is the coolest. And
yeah. I
it's
think
really
I
the
think it's
upgrade.
growing a lot.
It
The
is.
sober movement, or it's just my Instagram. I was just sober coaching, and I have been interviewing a lot of coaches, and they do, each one have their own
Mm-hmm.
perspective on how to do it, which I think is cool because sometimes it works for someone this or this doesn't work, and and I was actually thinking about like having a community or app or something just with coach so people can just go in and of course I'm sure there is already something like that, but just to so people can choose. It's like you choose like a personal trainer or a
Mm-hmm.
personal chef or whatever. It's not always a match, or
Yeah.
even a psychiatry. Sometimes it's not a match. I've been in so many psychiatrists before I find the one that I connect with. And
Right.
um, you ask if I'm still in the program. I actually am with my therapist from the rehab. I do it online twice a week, and
Beautiful.
they have those groups on the clinic, and I do it online 2 times a week also. And there's people with all kind of problems, not just addiction,
Yeah.
and it keeps me. Actually, I became very interested in human um, behavior, not
Yeah.
just addiction, because I think addiction is like something that comes after you are not being able to do with your life, or you're
Yes.
not happy, or you're anxious. So there's the reason before you start drinking, right? So
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious about. So I love to talk to people, and I don't know, seeing
It's a lot of psychology. I
Yeah.
used to love psychology, and it's very fascinating, and it connects us, and we learn so much. Like I've learned sometimes more through our community meetings and our women sharing stories than like some experts, because it's
Definitely.
real and it's not curated, and it's you see the transformation, and you truly see in real time what is working, what is not working. People slip, people come back, and just, I mean, we've done this for 3 or 4 years. So it's such a gift. It's a gift for me,
Yeah, it is.
so
It is
yeah.
definitely. I'm very thankful. I think I don't. I'm easy to public speaking. I don't to get too shy. I think it was because of rehab, because I have to share on the
Hmm.
meetings. In the beginning, I was shy, and then in the end, I was like, okay, let's go. I'm gonna tell everything. So when I started the podcast, I was already used to talk about my story public, and then in the beginning you feel shy, and then in the end you just don't care anymore. You just say
Yeah.
it, And so I think that's why it's coming kind of easy for me
Yeah.
to do the podcast.
Yeah. And don't you find that like speaking about it on the podcast is so much more fun than talking about it to people who are still drinking? I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I love the podcast and I love our community is because if I was to say the things that I say in the real world, like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
They'd be offended.
yeah.
Same. No one would want to be my friend. I mean, sometimes people are like, can you stop talking about sobriety? I'm like, no, I
yeah,
can't because it's the greatest thing. But I love too that Mel, you said in rehab, you just started raising your hand and talking. And I think Michaela and I would agree. You get sober and you just don't give an F. You're like, whatever. Like, I'm
Mhm.
doing this.
I've
I am
been
conscious. I'm
yeah,
not numb. I'm
I've
going
been
to
through
live my
hell.
life. Yeah.
No, because
Right.
my story it got very very heavy. Um, I was this social drinker and mom and artist and married and have the perfect life, and then it got really bad, like dark, like when I went to rehab the first time, they actually got me in my house. I didn't know I was going. And my family, my friend, who was also an addict, they decided to do that because they thought I was gonna die because I was
Mhm.
by myself drinking.
How old was your kid then?
She was 4 or 5, but she was with my mother and her father here in Portugal, and I was by myself in Brazil. And then I started drinking and using cocaine, and I I don't know. I think we create this illusional world that this is okay
Yeah. We
because
surround ourselves with people who do it and it becomes
yeah,
normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I was living this life that it was not mine, and thinking it was okay. So they put me in rehab. I was so mad. Screaming. I still have a best friend that she was there when I got in, and she said that she wanted to laugh but she couldn't because I was like cursing at everybody and screaming. I was so mad. But then after 1 week, then I got the I saw that I knew that I needed, you
Yeah.
know. I was just postponing, like I don't want to go today, tomorrow, and so it got pretty bad, and I like to talk about this because a lot of people that saw my life and my social media, they never imagined, and they said, "Oh, you have the perfect life," and it seemed like, and then when I spoke up, I think it was very very strong because people didn't expect that from me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because I
Like,
started to
yeah.
drink late. I wasn't like a teenager that was drinking or doing drugs. No, I was
Right.
normal. And then suddenly I got the problem.
Well, and I think it's a progressive disease. So it's something that you started a little bit and everyone around you is doing it and you find friends who like to hang out and socialize like you. And then all of a sudden it grows and grows. You need more and more. And you look
Yeah,
around, you still have a quote unquote normal life. You have your, your child, your home, your marriage,
yeah,
your work, your art. But we're comparing ourselves to a very abnormal, sick world. Like it's relationships with drugs. It's completely abnormal. There's nothing normal about usage wherever you live. It's out of control. It's been normalized. And that's the problem because it's so normalized that when you take a step out, everyone around you is like, they don't want to look at it because they have to look at themselves. And all your
yeah.
friends don't want to admit, like, oh my gosh, well, maybe if Mel needs help, maybe I do.
Yeah, I can see that. Like my feedbacks on my Instagram and the podcast are never from people like family. Instead of
Hmm.
my mother, she loves it. She thinks it's great. But most of people that I know don't comment, don't like,
Yes.
And I think there's maybe a who who she thinks she is to be talking about that, and but I don't care.
Yeah. Or they joke around their use and say they're, it's,
Yeah, they
yeah,
feel uncomfortable.
right. Right.
Yeah, and that's why again we need these conversations, and that's part of why we created our community. We talked a little bit offline, Mel, about you experienced AA and rehab. Michaela obviously is not of the addicted type. She never went into AA, but she's gone to some meetings with me because she's the best, and
I love all the work.
she's so
Absolutely.
cool. But
Yeah.
we've kind of created a hybrid of taking like the deep spirituality, the tenets of AA with modern sobriety, beauty, health, wellness, relationships, and created this space so that it's really attractive to everyone and what everyone is seeking, because you need your people. You need people who are going to go on this journey with you and go deeper, because we've all experienced, now you have 13 months, which is extraordinary, by the way. Congratulations again. More things come up. Each day in sobriety, you have this like, wow, this is so amazing. Then you have like, oh my gosh, this is so terrifying at the same time. And you need your community to like help you keep going, or to say, hey, I went through that. I felt that, or this helped me, or that's completely normal, or just go hold space for you. A drink is never an option. A drink is never the solution. But here are some things that work, or here sometimes let me just like hold you while you journey through that pain, or celebrate when you experience that bliss that you've missed out on in life from,
Yeah,
suppressing it with alcohol. But you
and
need a community.
For
thanks.
me, oh, no, I was
No,
going to say
no,
for
no,
me,
no.
I needed a community of women. I
Yeah.
went to AA meetings and I went to groups and therapy, and I just can't relate to the men in that way of, how they used to drink or why they used to drink or certain things. So for me, there was always a disconnect, and I needed a community where it's women who are really taking care of themselves, because you can go to AA, and this is what I've just noticed, and people are so unhealthy. I'm like, I don't want, I get the whole sobriety part, and that's beautiful. I got that, but I want more. I want everything. I want it all. I want to feel good in my body. I want to
Yeah,
look good. I want to feel good. I want to know I'm doing good in the world, and not in a cocky way. It's just, I want to wake up feeling like I'm living the most elite life I possibly can. And then I need to be around women who are doing the same thing or are rising to be doing the same thing. And we need
try,
to be talking
yeah,
about it.
at least trying, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And because it goes much deeper than the substance. It goes like why you're doing in the first place. Why can you handle your life or your anxiety? I am really anxious, generalized anxiety. So I am always a little anxious. So it's something that I had to live with. I take medicine for, but there's only one thing that medicine can do, and then you have to do your work. And
Yes.
so for me, the hardest part was like, oh my God, I'm anxious. What I'm going to do with that? And what really got me through, and still nowadays, is to know that it goes away. No feelings, bad or good, stay forever. you know Even
Mm-hmm.
if today you're really excited and happy, it's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with the bad feelings. So sometimes I just get distracted, like I'm going to talk with my daughter, and just forget about my anxiety, because she has a completely different focus on life, right? She's 11, she's playing, she's not anxious, she's super happy. So I go and talk to her a little bit, or my husband, and then I think this is just in my mind, right? And it's not real. I'm not in
Mm-hmm.
danger. But I do think it goes back. My father was bipolar, but he was never diagnosed. But I know he was, but he never got treated, and And so I grew up in this environment that very high-low. So one day he wanted to buy a boat, and then the other day he wouldn't get out of bed. So I was always on that anxious, like how he's gonna be. Like he's gonna be good or it's gonna be bad. He's gonna be screaming or he's gonna be laughing. And I do think I'm very traumatized with that, growing up with such uncertainty. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be supported or screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so
And yeah,
relatable. Yeah,
it
I can
makes sense
relate
why
to.
we drank, right? Because what do we do with those feelings when you
Yeah,
have a substance that's going to take you to a numb place? And we can so relate to that. And that's the work, though. I think that's what people don't understand. You stop drinking to then dive into, and thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. And I'm so sorry. Um, that's the work that we get to do to heal and to figure out, okay, so how can I feel safe in my body? What's going to help me in real time? What are some solutions that I can live in to help, like, just lessen my anxiety and bring in more peace and regulate my nervous system? Things I never thought
yeah.
about when I was drinking because I just drank. Let me have a drink. I'm stressed. Let me have a drink. I'm
Oh my
happy. Let me
God,
have a drink. I drink,
anything.
drink, 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 drink to everything.
Everything, and then suddenly you don't have that cope anymore. But it's something for me. The last time I went to rehab the first time, then I got out and I relapsed, and then I got really bad, but really bad. We were living in Mozambique at the time because we live in all over the place because of my husband' job, and we were in Mozambique and I got to the point that I had to wake up at 8 in the morning, waiting for the supermarket to open at 9, desperately to buy alcohol. I would buy, my daughter would go to school, my husband would go to work, and actually sometimes I had a helper there. She would hold my hand because I was drinking and crying, and it was like living in hell. And then one day I went to the supermarket, and then this lady came to me and held my hand, and she said, "I'm praying for you." And I have never seen her. And then that day, I decided to come back to rehab. Then
Wow.
I did, and then I stayed there for a while, and then suddenly I was like, enough,
Mm-hmm.
done. And I've been sober since.
Power of prayer is so real. We know someone who was in addiction and somebody came up to her and said, "I'm going to pray for you." And it was almost like a shock, to the system.
Yeah,
And
you don't think
yeah,
that bad that you need people to pray
right.
for you, but you are.
Right. Yes.
And like, how strong it is someone that don't know
Yeah.
you are gonna pray for you.
It's so beautiful.
It's awesome. I still get chills like when I think about it.
I think
And
that was an angel. I don't know.
yeah,
I think
I
that was
think
an angel in your life.
yeah, I think that too because it's too strong to be random,
Yes.
right?
Nothing's random. Nothing's
Yeah.
when we get sober, realize that God is orchestrating everything. I wrote down drinking and crying because that really stuck out to me. That's the thing with alcohol. Like you're drinking and you're crying. Like, what a life. How awful is that torture where you're drinking
Yes,
something, it's
because
actually
you
making
don't
you worse, but you can't stop.
because it gets to the point that you're completely out of it and you lost control. There is this point, at least for maybe not for McCallum, but for me and Aaron, I think there is that time that you say, okay, I really have a problem here. Like, how am I gonna get out of this shit now? Sorry for the language, but it it is like, how can I get out of this? Because it's too hard. And but It is possible, so possible. So many people do it. I always envy, like when I saw those people who were in recovery 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and then I was jealous. But if you look at jealousy, you're only jealous of something you want, right? You're not gonna be jealous if like if I see like a Lamborghini, I don't care because I don't care about cars, so I'm not gonna be jealous of that. But if you
Yeah.
show me like a beautiful house with a sea view, that I'm gonna be jealous. And it was the same with sobriety. I was
Yeah.
jealous because I was not being able to get there.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, I totally can relate to that. And I also thought those people were such unicorns. I'm like, there's no way I could ever do it. But the three of us are living proof it's possible and that it's worth it. And then the work is to stay here and to like stay in the center of it and talk about it and remember the bad so we can focus on building the good. That's why we remember, like, as an anchor, not to go back there, but just to be so thankful for each sober breath. If what would you say, Mel, to anybody? I'm sure people come up to you now, like, or on the podcast or like virtually. I know not your immediate people, and ask like, "Oh my gosh, I want to get sober. What should I do?" Or "How did you do it?" Or "What's my
You
first
know
step?" Like,
that what is funny is because I'm having more people reaching out to me that are sober or are coaches, and they want to spread the word, than the people that are in need,
Hmm.
and which I think it's weird. But because I want to reach who's in need. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing people that are thriving or trying, so to inspire people that are needing. Because who I wanted to reach is that person that, like me, once were like throwing up and still having to drink just because you're addicted to it. I want to reach, of course, all kind of people that want to stop drinking or using drugs or have mental
yeah,
illness. But for me, what really get to me is those people that are really in a bad place, because I know that when I was really bad, I was not scrolling Instagram
Right.
for
You're in
sobriety
denial.
quotes.
Right.
I didn't even want to see it because, it's like, I would make me feel bad about myself, instead of feeling good because I was not there. And so I want to reach these people that are in need. But sometimes people are ashamed, or they are shy to talk about it, and they say
Or not
sometimes,
ready.
"Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
ready." Yeah.
yeah.
And how does it work, the community that you built, like, for people to join, and how do you guys do this selection, or everybody?
Hmm.
How does it work?
So it's for women who want to live a sober life.
Hmm.
And you could be in the beginning stage. We've had women who are sober for a year but don't have a community. So really is all levels, but the we don't promote moderation. We promote complete, just alcohol free, and we will show you how to do it. We do the work. We have, like I said, meetings multiple times a week. And then we also have a daily chat on an app that has maybe around 15 rooms on different topics. From like, we'll have a main chat, we have wellness, we have spirituality, we have
That's so
sex and
awesome.
intimacy, sobriety, we have being social, we have um, all of these different
Everything.
areas.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome. I want to get in.
yeah, and
Join
we've
us
done it
anytime.
for so long where, we guide it. But there's been women in there who's been with us for 2 to 3 years that took on a role of, because it helps their sobriety when a new woman comes in and she's struggling, to give advice and to hold hands. And we have an accountability buddy program. And so there's different ways that you can use it. But again, it's all on the umbrella under modern sobriety. And Erin can teach on AA or offer a meeting. And so it's just constant talk. And what we hear most is, we're in the age of social media, and this curated, like everybody has a different feed, right? That they're looking at, but everybody loves going into our app, like into the chat, because there's always a win to look at. There's always a reflection. There's always a question. There's support. And so no matter where you are on your journey, you can look into it and you're like, like I know why I'm doing this, because it's not out there. Like these conversations are really not out there. So it
Yeah.
just
It's like a safe
solidifies.
place.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the coolest community coming from, like, I love my AA. I love this super cool hybrid, and it's for every single woman looking, and Mel, we actually have to jump off in a minute because we have our meeting, but anytime that you would like to join us or any of your listeners, we always offer the first meeting on us. So truly they can just DM at Two
Okay.
Sober Girls Podcast. You anytime, we would love for you to come
Okay.
on and meet
And
our
you guys
women.
have an app.
No, so we have meetings on Zoom and then we have an app for the chat. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna download it.
We
And
would love to
yeah,
have
and
you.
then of course, because to share the episode, I wanna talk about it and explain, and for people to understand what you guys do, and hopefully wanna join.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think.
if you go on Two Sober Girls podcast on Instagram, we always have pinned to the top our calendar. So if you
Okay.
zoom in, every week we have, like today we have a topic, Erin and I are jumping on, and it's Sober Girl Show and Tell. So we show and tell our favorite sobriety tools and rituals and things like that. But, and then we have deeper topics like mirror work or, how not to relapse and things like that.
And how did you guys like start no, I mean, how did you get to the women that were in need?
They came
Like,
to us through the podcast. They
okay.
still
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they DM us and looking for a community, looking for these conversations and topics. And yeah, we just created the system for it. And
Okay.
we're constantly evolving and making it better and just growing. Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it must be amazing to do that. Just what I'm doing feels amazing. I can imagine to have like a
Sure.
community.
You
And
will. You can.
Yes.
It will come to you.
yeah, like I said, a lot of people that are coaches, and it's difficult to get people that are struggling to be like posting on Instagram so that I can reach, so they have to find me
Hmm.
because they
It
do.
takes time. It
Yeah,
takes
you have
time.
to, yeah, you need to
Little
have,
strategy sprinkled in,
Yeah.
time, little faith, and
I think
yeah.
you should reach out to your niche as an artist and have something.
Yes, I think about that a lot because
Yeah.
sometimes I get like, oh my God, I want to promote the art and this thing, but then I also do the podcast with the sobriety, and then I get little like, oh my, like how to merge both of it. And because I know that people that are really bad, they are probably not thinking about painting something, you know, and but it does help, and
Of course. It's healing.
it is healing.
Well,
So there's some girls that they're doing some retreats here in Portugal, actually close to my house, and they reached out to me, and I'm talking to them maybe about doing something together, but then a retreat with art therapy for recovery,
I love
and
it.
and I think it would be awesome because then people go to a place, and then they will have the materials, and then
the structure.
I think
Yes.
that's, I think you do that and you just keep following your heart.
yeah,
I
that's
love
what I'm
it.
doing. I think that nothing that you do uh, like almost daily basis that you have your heart into will not lead to something great. It's
Amen.
impossible,
Amen.
you
We
know.
have to go run to our meeting. Actually, we have our members are going to be waiting for us. So I hate to
Okay,
jump
okay.
off.
Okay, girls, thank you so much. I love talk to you, and I keep reaching
Oh,
out. And then
we
when
Yes.
love you, Mel.
okay,
Mel,
speak to
thank you.
you
You're
soon.
amazing. Mwah, mwah.
Thank you too. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.